Okay, I still don't know if it's going to happen, but I will at least make an attempt to share with you some pondering on perspective. So be in heart. Always, when you come to one of these videos, go into heart or the text file. And you're missing something sometimes on the live ones, it pays to go read the text file. All right, now. Seeing is doing. I've laid the groundwork for this in other journals. When we watch and observe, and when we're doing it from heart, and that means our vision is turned inward, you don't have to look outside, you see, because you contain everything. When you're in heart, you're in superposition everywhere, so there is no outside. You just are that. So when you're in mind, it's as if you're a separate being looking at a separate bunch of stuff that is not your body. And so there's the myth of separation, and it's a lie. It's a lie. And for whatever reason, we came here to enjoy it, but we're putting ourselves back together now, if you will. We're reintegrating with that which is, with who and what we are. And so when we're in heart, we have OmniVision in a way. I mean, it's not that it's inward. Inward equals inward and outward, so words fail me again. But be in heart and look at how seeing is doing. You're watching yourself, and if you're doing the kind of watch and observe thing that I talk about, you're not tampering with anything that you see. If you see yourself mouthing off to someone, you're not reaching out and stopping yourself from doing that. You're not listening to should or should not. You're giving yourself free rein and peace. And you're just letting yourself be. It requires a certain amount of letting go, giving up the idea that you're perfect or that you need to be, or that you can fix anyone or anything with anything you think, do, or say, including yourself. You're just letting go of all of that. Empty is really the best place to be and to start and to touch bases with again and again. When in doubt, empty out and just be. Just be eyes watching. What do you see? Just see it. Just be present in now so that you can see it. And you've got that one ear cocked, listening in your heart. Intuition Central is always online 24/7. The net never goes down. Okay? You're watching and you're listening. And you're not learning. Know that you know. Just put it in there as a possibility if it seems too bizarre. If it seems too bizarre, that's mind. Heart knows that you know. Keep touching down in heart. Heart just knows. It's the place where you know. Of course, it mandates that you give up being the body mind, thinking that you are that. But most of us have come a long way with that. We slip back in it all the time. It's hard not to. That's what my previously uploaded journal was about. Being practical with this. It's time to start recognizing when we're operating multidimensionally. It's time to start owning that. We're taking back our power. and our divinity. We're integrating with that. It's not a learning, it's an integrating, a remembering. Heart already knows. Go ask it, you'll see. Heart knows things. The body knows a lot of things. That's why pendulums and, oh, what's that called when you press on your arm and some kind of biofeedback. The body itself is able to communicate with those who know how to listen. Those are ways of listening. We're not infallible with it. If you only give it half a dozen options and the answer isn't one of them, chances are it's going to tell you it's one of them. And it's because how vital it is to lay the question out perfectly. Yes, Priscilla is here. That was her name, Purrsilla, my Siamese kitty. That went multidimensional and got attacked by a malevolent ET. Sorry, folks. I won't step out of truth. It's in earlier journals if you want to find out about it. Okay, where am I going now? Things are different. I don't know in what way. But I think at this point even you can sense it. So, seeing is doing. You're watching. And you see yourself mouth off at a friend. You don't stop yourself from doing it. You're only watching. If you stop yourself, it's okay. It's just that you've gone into mind with it, that's all. And that's not sufficiently transcendent for you. So, now what you have, you didn't do anything about it. And you're not willing to listen to the self-criticism that will try to play in the background. That's your old programming about how you're supposed to be a good boy, a good girl, etc. It's BS, okay? You're ignoring that, but you're uncomfortable with the way that you handled the energy there with being harsh. And so you're watching your discomfort. You're just looking and listening in heart. If you do that, screen out thought sufficiently, you'll see what's underneath. You'll see what's behind that. And sometimes there's 2 and 3 layers or however many that you'll go through just quietly watching, because as you see into the base of something, then you begin watching that. You're going down to the core. We want to get to the cause, to the core of what we're uncomfortable with. And your vision, along with what I call the ray of attention, there's a real energy in your gaze, in what you place your attention on. There's a real stream of energy that flows. It really does. So maybe somehow that unlocks things. I don't know. I don't want to make presumptions. I just know that when I look, it takes me deeper. And so you go as deeply with it as you can. We're not all the time sitting down in meditation where we can just endlessly drill down into things, okay? Life isn't that way all the time, unless you're a hermit in the woods. But, you know, we're not resentful about anything that's a part of our now. We own that we've structured it. We've somehow created it. We're divine. We're not victims. We're no longer willing to play the victim role in anything. So we've got to keep watch, because we're well-trained little victims. All sleeple are. Yeah, sleeple. Not so much sheeple. Especially the light beings. We just never were one to go with the crowd so much as what sheeple implies. That's just too unawakened. So you watch. And I don't know what percent of the time, but better than 50% of the time, maybe better than 70 or 80% of the time, what you're looking at will heal. Next time you're in a similar situation, you'll see that it's healed because you won't respond like that. Or if you do, it won't be as harsh. There's healing in your gaze. Even though what you're doing from the outside looks like you're just sitting still, meditating, you're very active when you're observing. So the seeing is doing, and it brings healing. Important also, it brings self-awareness and self-knowledge. Hopefully, you're getting more and more comfortable with being yourself, with allowing yourself to just be who and what you are, and not thinking that you have to perform for yourself or anyone. And that's a very big part of our programming as well. It's all okay though. Everything is perfect. Stick with heart, where everything is perfect all of the time. Even when it's at the very most uncomfortable. Nothing can stop you from watching, observing. No one needs to know what you're doing either. What you're seeing, what you're learning. When you're in heart like this, watching, that means you have to be present. You can't be off in the mind playing around. That's not being in heart. You're in the best position to receive guidance. That's something I was shut down to for, I'd say, probably 6 months to a year. I just closed the door on it. I had investigated 2 or 3 things that I thought looked pretty good, like they were worthy of investigating, like there might be a river or a fountain of truth there. What I found when I got into it, and some of them, like the Allies of Humanity, I mean, I bought the books, I was studying, I was doing the meditations and everything. It takes a while, like that Alaje, who's supposedly a Pleiadian, who's got some videos online. It's not until you're in heart and you're making direct contact with who and what's behind the scenes there sometimes that you can see, because there's such an overlay of what they want to appear to be, and to pierce or penetrate that sometimes isn't easy. And I just got disgusted. I thought, my God, if your discernment and attunement isn't any better than that, you know, that I was having my own little tantrum, I guess. And so I closed the doors. Anyway, I'm opening them now and being willing to tune in again. So maybe that's part of what's going on here. And once again, I've spoken too long without sharing what I really intended to share. I guess I just laid the groundwork for it. But I don't want these videos to be too long. So I'll stop and I'll see you again later.